Have you ever been in a team where everyone is moving and you feel like you are the only one who is not going in that direction? Tasks are piled up, deadlines are missed, and for some reason you feel like they are working but there is no alignment. I've been there, and the truth is, you are not the problem. The fault is the systems that have been designed, the approach that have been taken. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 7 agile principles. Believe me, they are not theory, they are practical, they are systems that have been proven, they are human. And if you start using them today, you're going to be a better leader when it comes to project management. This is Figure Out PM, where we break down the message of project management into something you can actually use. My name is Valeri, and if you're joining us for the first time, thank you for being here. Let's figure out this together. Let's start from here and understand what really is agile. People have a different mindset, different understanding of what agile is. Agile is not about tools, it's not about software, it's not about application, it's about people, it's about adaptation and continuous delivery of value. Let me give you an example of how you can better understand agile. Think of a road trip, right? You want to embark on a road trip. What do? You know where you are going to, but you don't completely plan out all the stop. What you do is you plan small and then you embark. You start driving. While you are going, you realize that there are places where you're going to stop. You're going to meet friends, you can interact with people, you're going to see interesting things. You might change your direction due to traffic or certain things. There are some uncertainties that might happen on the road where you're going. You can see so many things that you like to explore, and then you have to shift your mindset from it. You change from that direction and adapt to another thing. That is how agile works. You don't plan everything out fully. As you are going, there are changes that are going to happen alongside. It's the same like in that road trip, it's not just the driver who is in charge. The people who are with the driver also contribute. They give their ideas. Where are we heading to? They give their explanation of where they are going to, and the driver takes in that direction. Agile start with small planning while moving forward. There are changes that are going to come, and you have to learn how to adapt into those changes. That is the simplest way Agile works. It is mostly used in software industries. Why? Because they are not certain about how this thing is going to respond. So they build up something and then they test it. When they test it and they see that it's not up to the level or the standard that they wanted it, they have to do some changes, adapt to it, and make sure that they deliver value. Yes, you have an understanding of Agile. Let's see the 7 principles of Agile that you can apply to make sure that your projects are going smoothly and fluently. The first one is daily stand up. Now, most project managers confuse this, their daily stand up with their meeting. The daily stand up is not your meeting. The daily stand up makes sure that your project is alive, everything is flowing well. There are 3 questions that you need to ask in your daily stand up. What did we do yesterday? What are we working on today? What is blocking me? Simple, short, and concise. You need to make sure that people have an understanding of this. When you ask this as a project manager, your job is to listen. And when you listen carefully, it is easy for you to spot those weaks and see how you can act on them while there is still time before it's break. The second is sprint planning. You as the project manager, you are to decide what matters in the next 1 to 4 weeks. It is not what is urgent. It is not what screams loud. It is what delivers values. Now here's the mistake where most project managers do. They overplan. There is overload. They try to predict everything. That is not agile. Agile is human. Agile is consistent. Agile is making sure that you deliver value. So what you need to do is plan detailedly on small tasks, execute. While moving forward, changes are going to be made and then there is adaptation. Don't overplan, don't overload. That is not agile. The third is retrospective. This is the meeting that most project managers keep. Why? Because it is uncomfortable. People don't want to talk about their mistakes, but that is not the best way to go about it. Instead, you need to reflect because reflection comes with improvement. You ask your team what went well, what didn't go well, what can we do differently. Now, when people trust you, when your team trusts you, they are going to open up, they are going to speak. It is not about blame, it is making sure that we can identify the areas where we are failing and then we move forward with our project. If your team members trust you, if you make sure that there is an open space for them to communicate, they are going to open up about their mistakes, and there your project is going to move forward. So make sure that you carry out this meeting, retrospect with your team members. I can see this is getting very interesting. And if you apply the agile methodologies in the way you lead your project, you're going to unpack massive outcomes. Let's get into the fourth principle, which is the Kanban board. Now, when you use the Kanban board, it highlights what we are doing, what is in progress, and what has been completed. It is all about clarity. Now, you can shift the tasks that you have done already into the completed to-do list, in progress, complete. Now, what I usually recommend for starters is the Trello board. It is very easy for you to navigate, and it starts with a free version. You can access the free version by going to trello.com, and you're going to have access to it. You just look at some tutorials in which I'm going to be walking you through in our upcoming videos. We're going to explore this more and more. It is very easy for you to use that. You can use ClickUp, which has an inbuilt Kanban board on it as well. It can help you navigate your tasks that has been completed. That is what Agile is all about. It's all about clarity. The fifth is backlog grooming. That is the secret sauce. Now, what do you do here? You make sure that you identify your tasks and prioritize the ones that are urgent. That is why most project fails. People just want to stick to what they are doing, follow the gap without necessarily considering the ones that are urgent, the ones that matter. And that is one skill that you need to know as a project manager. You need to know what to prioritize. You need to know what is important versus what is urgent. So when you highlight all these tasks and then you see what you need to complete first before moving to the other one, that is where the magic happens. The sixth one is time boxing. This is where you want to make sure that each task has a time frame, everything has a deadline, people know when to do what are they doing, and at the particular time that it has to be done. You need to make sure that you distribute all of this so that people can prioritize, people can focus. And lastly, communication and collaboration. There is no way you are going to work in the agile team, in the agile space, in project management, in life without communicating. And if you want to go far, you need to collaborate with people. Communication is one of the top skills that I encourage in project management. Why? Because there is no way you will sit in an organization as a project manager and you don't communicate. Your team is not going to function. Communication is very important. Lack of communication is deadly. Because why? Mistakes are going to pile up, and before you know, everything is unraveled. The meetings, the projects, you need to communicate. I don't know how to overemphasize this. I don't know how to tell you how important communication is in agile space. So those are the 7 agile practices that you can use as a project manager. You can use in an agile space and make sure that your projects are moving proactively. That is how you need to function. Let's recap them again. We have the first one, which is the daily stand-up. The second one is the sprint planning. The third one is the retrospective. The fourth one is the Kanban board. The fifth one is the backlog grooming. The sixth one is time boxing, and the last one is communication and collaboration. You can start with one, master the other, and then you move to the next. Agile is not about perfection, it is about consistency. connection with humans, and continuous delivery of value. If there is one thing we should take from this video is this: listen more, communicate more, collaborate more, and make sure you deliver value. If there's anything I've shared with you today that resonates, if it sparked a thought, a question, or even just a feeling, then do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, and my promise to you alongside with my team is simple: to consistently bring you real, honest, and valuable content that helps you figure out project management one conversation at a time.